Hi, my name is Viktoria Maggio. I live in Ward 13. I'm delivering this testimony in support of the community's demands for defunding the Providence Police Department. It is too often we hear of shortcomings in the city government regarding communities these figures have been elected to serve. The failures are evident within the inflated police budget and the paralleled accounts of those who have been brutalized by this city's force. Currently, the Providence Police Department has allocated $871,187 for uniforms and apparel, including laundry services. To supply equestrian care, the budget has allocated $131,125 for 4 horses. The purpose of the equestrian unit is to promote community engagement. However, the only time these horses are visible are during protests or parades. According to Mayor Elorza, quote, "This is an opportunity from a really young age for us to build a relationship between our police and our youngest folks in the community. The impact of these horses go far beyond what we know and what will be establishing relationships that are going to nurture and develop over years," end quote. However, I would argue with Mayor Elorza that the Police Department of Providence has already failed the youth. Community policing has created the false idea that police can solve structural issues through building partnerships, but policing has only made these issues worse. If we want to build community, we should be focused on our public schools and affordable housing initiatives. When you compare the budgets of the police and public schools, there is an imbalance in the justification of funding. According to an independent financial analysis conducted by U.S. World News, Providence Public Schools must reallocate city funding to better serve its students. When you Google Providence, Rhode Island Public Schools, one of the first pages that comes up is a link to the now infamous Washington Post article titled, "These are the details of the mess in Providence, Rhode Island. Public schools are sickening. Read them anyway." According to this report, the public schools varied in the conditions of the facilities, with lead in the drinking water and lead-contaminated paint falling from the ceiling onto students and faculty. Teachers do not have the ability to implement students' individualized learning plans, otherwise known as IEPs, due to the lack of support, staffing, and preparation. In April, during the midst of a global pandemic, the Providence public school system cut student lunch pickup to 2 days per week. These are brief examples of the ways the city has failed its public school students while simultaneously and consistently allowing for more funding to the police force. I work alongside individuals who experience chronic housing insecurity and homelessness. There are folks who have been on the housing waitlist for the past decade. There are folks who have been left vulnerable during this pandemic due to being without affordable homes or comprehensive affirming shelter. How is a person supposed to follow the stay-at-home order with no affordable home of their own? How is a person supposed to stay safe during the midst of a global crisis while surviving on the street? Providence currently has a 4% vacancy rate and an average of 3 to 8 years worth of wait time for individuals and families seeking affordable housing. During the last city council meeting, Police Commissioner Stephen Paré stated that he was on the board of the biggest shelter in the state, and the Providence Police Department donates to this organization. However, if we were to abolish the excessive police budget, we could reallocate those funds to affordable housing initiatives and then really support our community members struggling with housing insecurity and chronic homelessness caused by the rising cost of living in our city. As the Finance Committee, I ask you, how are we going to do better for our community? To quote the activist Charlotte Abaxi, how are you going to fund our futures? We must defund the police state. We must abolish the carceral state within our city in order to ensure a future that is safe and inclusive for all residents. Thank you.